Let's just spend a couple of minutes getting oriented to the Jama software, Jama Connect, in order to get to it from the class for your semester project. So I'm looking at the course module now, and if you go to the bottom of this page, you'll find one of the modules is for your project, where you can get all the information and assignments related to your project. So the tips for Jama Connect is where you have all your instructions and links to training materials, things of that nature. There's a project forum where you can ask me questions about the tool and its use. But let's go on into the tool now to see how you'll navigate it. So using the connect to the tool, we'll go to it through a different page. It'll bring us to the sign-on software. You'll be able to get your username and password from the material in the class. You'll get that as soon as your project is approved. So that information is available on the tips page. So I can use that to sign into the software. That's what you'll basically do. The initial password you get when I create your user ID will allow you to get into the system once. The system will then prompt you to change your password. So the password you're going to get from the tips page, it will not be your permanent password. When you come into this tool, you're basically presented with a list of your recently viewed project. As you work in your semester project, you'll pretty much see that your project will be on this list here, but it's not there yet. So typically you can see all the projects that are available by going up here to the projects link at the top and clicking on that. When you click on projects, it will take you to the project you most recently used. You can change projects using the link that's available there. I'm going to come right back to this one in a second, but let's just show you how to do that particular function. It'll bring up a list of all the projects we have in our UCF instance of the tool. There's a lot of projects here. This tool is used by more than one class, so you should look for the class you're taking. System engineering in spring of 2021 might be this class right now. So you'll come into that and you'll see courses you can access. So there's three projects you're going to work with, and only two of them are here right now. One is the practice project for everyone, and another is a traffic intersection control. I'll provide you with a different video where I show you around that project. The practice project for everyone, if you click on that and come in, you'll see the project that for now looks just like your semester project project will look when I create it for you. It's got all the folders of the things that you want to be able to use in this environment, and you can come in. This practice project for everyone in the class can come into. Everyone in the class can create something. So as you're watching the training videos and you want to give something a try, come on into this project and go ahead and do it. It won't interfere with your semester project at all. All I ask is that you don't corrupt or delete anything that other students are doing. So this particular project could accumulate a lot of stuff, and it's an opportunity for you to work with your student peers and perhaps see the ways they're entering things as they go through. When you're in a project, you can use the Add menu to add any of the objects that are allowed in your project. And I've restricted the tool to only those objects that I expect you to use for your project. When you're watching the training materials, you'll see that there are a lot of other item types in the tool that we're simply not using in this class. But if you feel you need some of them or you would like some of those items types turned on for you, reach out to me through the forum and we'll see if you really need them or not. But everything you need for the required course assignments is already pre-established as you go through. So I can create any one of these things, like a business requirement, and it brings up the template where I can write it. Now we're learning in class how to write good requirements. So you want to try to do that here. Excuse me. But for the most part, you give the requirement a name, equity, and then write the requirement. The system shall provide equitable passage. That's an example of one you might see in the intersection projects, and you can save and close that requirement, and you'll have that requirement already pre-populated as you go through. Now, since we used the add menu and didn't do a particular one, we have to tell it what we've added, even though there's only one option. The way I've set it up, pick the one that it is, and that will save that option for you. If I had come in and right-clicked on this to add to something, I can add the same thing you've seen add, and because I did it in the context of the link on the project, it would know that when I saved it, it would go ahead and save it as it goes through. You also have an add menu over here on the side to do very similar things. as you work your way in. So there's lots of ways to do it. I'm not trying to teach you the whole tool here. I'm just trying to give you a quick overview. You should be watching the vendor supplied demonstration videos and training videos. There's a whole bunch of them. And in the tips page in class, I've included some of the links for you to get to some of that training material, but you can be doing your own searches as you go. So the practice project for everyone is a project you can go to at any time and just practice and try stuff out. On the project page, I'll create a different video where I walk you through what I have in the traffic intersection control example. And once your project is approved at the end of Unit 2, so going into Week 3, once your project is approved, I will create your personal semester project, which will show up on this list for you. And it'll be the one place where you'll be able to do your project assignment for the semester as you go through. So that's just the basics of what's going on here. When you're in your project, you'll see that when you click on the various activities you want to see going through here, it tends to, as you click on them, it brings them up in a display mode for you as you go through. So I tend to click the group set, and over here I'm using the reading view. There are other views you can use as you go through the training material, but the reading view I find is very, very useful. It gives me the title, gives me that requirement. So as I add things, I'll start to see that list. And then as I work my way through, the export button over here, I can export it to Word, which is what you'll want to do when it comes time to take the contents of what you've done here in the tool and move it into the Word document you'll be submitting to the assignment. And the tips page will give you more tips for how to do that. So again, this was not meant to be a training video. Go use the YouTube videos that are available from the Jama Connect software people, and their training materials are actually quite good. You'll be able to use it to navigate to almost anything you want in the tool. But you'll basically be creating these kinds of objects as you go through. As you work your way through the semester, not every assignment will use every piece, but by the end of the semester, you will have done all of these. So the first conceptualization assignment, you really only use the first few. But over the course of the semester, you'll fill in all the different pieces for your project. So look at a tips page in the classroom for anything that I have that I've been able to post for you, or post in the project forum or the Jama Connect forum with questions you have about the project or the tool, and go see the different vendor materials as you go through. So that's just a quick overview of the Jama software for your project.